DMCA claims, nepotism, narcissism, late stage low IQ. Peach has all of this and more, which she will display so proudly due to losing in a video game. We will go through all of this through the entire video. This streamer just obliterated themselves. This woman died to a dude simply playing the game and decided that she needed to try and ruin his life. Absolutely insane. For reference, she was playing a game called Ark Raiders. Ark Raiders is an extraction shooter. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a form of survival PvP where the map has loot. You try to get the loot, you can kill and steal loot from other players, as well as speak to them with proximity voice. It's very similar to another game, DayZ, which had similar setting, but instead of robots, DayZ had zombies. Now, as you would expect, in this type of game, people are ruthless, and God forbid, they may actually lie. This is kind of part of the game. Many games that are PvP oriented have this feature. For instance, EVE Online. In EVE Online, you can explicitly lie to people outside of the game and to some extent defraud them into giving you things, and it's explicitly allowed. Now, Ark Raiders isn't that extreme, but these sorts of mechanics, it's part of the fun. Now, most ordinary people would flip their shit and move on. Now, unfortunately, I can't really show the video as Peach has already demonstrated that they will DMCA strike a video. So, to describe what happened, she was effectively tricked by a very obvious scam by a dude called Nessie, who said his friend was stuck. Then, he stabbed her in the back when she followed him. That was pretty much it. Now, dying in this way is frustrating, but most people would just get over it. But most people aren't as brain rotten as this lady, who clearly has the emotional intelligence of a middle schooler. This lady does the equivalent of responding to a mild annoyance by spontaneously combusting in public, trying to take as many people out as possible. It is crazy. First off, she immediately starts writing a hate comment on this guy's Steam profile, which I'm not gonna lie, is kind of funny. I actually don't care about this. I think we can empathize a bit at raging at someone that got one over on you, though personally I think it didn't use enough slurs. But we can't all be perfect. It starts getting bad when she mass reports this dude for scamming. Now, people won't understand why she chose scamming, because very obviously scamming is for things like buying and selling gear and being lied to and not paying for it. However, most people aren't as thick as this lady, who is not very far on the bell curve of IQ. She thinks this guy is scamming her because in a game where you're allowed to betray people, this guy lied to her saying his friend is stuck. Then he killed her. This is what arrested emotional development looks like in a woman. When something even minutely negative happens, they can't process this information in any way more advanced than, that's not nice, and so you're a bad person. It's the same thing as a Redditor who thinks he's nice because he would be polite and buy gifts for a woman, then expects sex, not realizing that he is effectively treating her like a prostitute and wonders why that is not an attractive prospect. She can't understand that being cunning in a game is part of the fun. That's why she thinks this is scamming. Now, this guy, Nessie, he seems like a nice guy, and after getting effectively a hate comment on his Steam profile, he goes into this streamer's chat, I imagine to smooth things over after this mild hate comment, mild shit talk. As you can see here.
Hello, GG, but from before. Hi, Nessie. Were you the person, like, in,
Now, you could imagine she's still bitter. That's forgivable. You could tell this guy, fuck you, suck a dick, you're a bitch. Whatever you like, all in good fun. It could even be banter. You could be butthurt, but it would be banter. But she just keeps escalating.
No, you're one with the stuck friend. Ah, so you're the asshole from before. Right. Now, did you like the comment I left on the profile?
She's so vindictive and aggressive, but at the same time, so utterly clueless. As you can see here when this dude asked what he did to get called an asshole. It's wild to me. And what you'll see later is that Nessie is still in uni. This lady has birthday balloons showing she's over 30, which means that this woman could potentially be over 10 years his senior. Jesus Christ, lady. No wonder you have a maximum of lower 2-digit viewers and this guy is partnered. I think there are toddlers who are more developed, more advanced than you at this point when it comes to handling their emotions. But it somehow gets worse. This lady is so insecure that she immediately locks the fuck onto the fact that this guy is partnered, like a pit bull locks onto a baby. She obsesses over this. He didn't even mention it once. She is so insecure that even when someone bigger than her is being nice to her and ignoring her shitty behavior, she can only process it through the lens of being a victim and Nessie being an aggressor.
Goodbye. I don't care if you have a partner badge. I don't care if you have a partner badge. I'm allowed to call you an asshole because what you did was asshole behavior. I don't give a fuck that you've got a partner badge.
Now you might think this is as bad as it gets. But then she hyper escalates and she says this.
Trying to look in with uni. I wonder if you're like being a shitlord over there too. I wonder if people are safe being around you.
I see you killed me in a PvP video game. I guess you're probably a rapist. Or perhaps one of those incel school shooters I have heard so much about. Like, the level of crazy here makes Arkham Asylum inhabitants look sane. This is literally what peak female bullying looks like. I would not be shocked if she has never been held accountable for her actions in her life. Because she acts like it. With how aggressive she is over such a small transgression, it must be miserable to be near this person that takes any minor confrontation or inconvenience as a full-on assault. Now, all of this is bad enough, and we all make mistakes and piss our pants in public sometimes. Right? But it actually gets so much worse. To give a summary, apparently she to some degree knows a community manager for ARK. Says that he is harassing her and he gets banned. So Peach effectively lies to this community manager that she knows and gets Nessie banned. For a month. Nessie ends up appealing. Having nothing happen for a good number of days, he personally messages the same community manager that banned him, with Peach's own VODs as evidence. The community manager, likely realizing their mistake, unbans him on the basis that Nessie doesn't communicate with Peach ever again, probably realizing that the community manager made a massive mistake, but wanting to cover their bases. Now, you would think it ends here, but it still gets so much worse. Nessie, in the process of his appeal, made a video explaining everything, which he submitted to the game's support. Peach then submitted a DMCA copyright removal to try and censor this because of likely how bad it made her look. This means that now Nessie has a copyright strike on his channel, and if he gets 3 of those, his channel gets permanently deleted. To remove that strike, Nessie has to dox himself to Peach, who is harassing him effectively at this point, who also does not have to give any personal information to Nessie whatsoever, which, by the way, YouTube, is crazy, by the way. Then, to top it all off, Peach goes to the e-safety commissioner and the police using Nessie's personal details that she doxed and files a report. Lies about death threats, saying that Nessie made death threats to Peach. I genuinely believe at this point that this woman deserves some kind of legal punishment for this shit. What sort of fucking reprobate wastes police time like this, accusing of something so serious that obviously did not happen? I know, it's someone who is doing everything they can to hurt someone else. This absolute psycho The same psycho who implied this dude is about to become all of the world's most wanted combined, like this man is about to come out of the TV screen to attack her. I've never seen someone fire so many shots at someone literally doing nothing. The level of abuse that she is committing to these systems around safety just to try and hurt this guy is insane. This is peak angry retard at its finest. This is also peak female bullying. People don't see it because they prey on your emotions and sympathy like a mind flare or some shit, but it turns out you can just make shit up and people will believe you. Then, when it all turns to shit, you can just blame it all on misogyny. This is so much more common than people want to believe. But yeah, to summarize, angry retard, girl bosses too close to the sun after dying in a video game, tried to ruin someone's life over it, and is literally too stupid to see that they are the piece of shit in all of this. Always remember that the average person isn't that bright, and half the population is on the lower half of that average. But that's just what I think.